Veterans Day was extra special at Longfellow Middle School this year. Retired Master Chief James Lowell spent the day visiting with student groups about what it means to serve in the armed forces.
Why do we honor veterans? For the sacrifices they have made, both in peacetime and in war. They all took an oath. An oath is a promise, as you know, which included the words, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Officer or enlisted, we all did that. That's me taking the oath. My dad is giving it to me at the Reserve Center in Decatur, Illinois, August 10th, 1965, a day I'll never forget. My dad was my commanding officer and he gave me the oath. And since then, I served 26 years and then finally retired.
Associate Principal John Baudek organized the event.
We are all here today in America as a result of the bravery, the actions, the duty, the services provided by our veterans. No matter what war it was, or what capacity they served, war or non-war era, and we all have connections to them.
I was a medic. My job was to help people who were hurt and wounded or shot, to stop the bleeding and get them ready to go to a hospital, usually by a helicopter.
Lowell didn't only talk about his own experiences, he asked each student and Longfellow staff member to find out who in their family is a veteran.
He distributed sheets of paper to every single student and staff member in the building, listing their name and any connections to veterans they have, grandfathers, aunts, uncles, cousins, fathers, mothers. They list them on there, what branch of service they're in. Of course, then that opens up an opportunity to talk more, and kids some of them wrote much, much more, talking about their years of service, where their tours of duty led them.
As Lowell presented, he asked each student to stand and share about his or her veteran relatives. Some of the students knew their relatives well and had heard stories about their years of service, while others knew very little. Student Ashleigh Bina has many veterans in her family.
My dad, he served in Desert Storm in the Marines. My grandma, she served in the Marines. I don't really know when she served, but she was in Washington. And my grandpa, he was in the National Guard, I think. And he served in the Vietnam and Korea era. My great-grandpa, he served in World War II.
Classmate Emma Anglehart also has relatives that have served.
My great-grandpa, Leo Anglehart, he served, I think it was the World War II. And then my great-uncle, Uncle Van, he was a veteran, and he's still with us, and I see him like once a year.
For those with veterans still living, Lowell challenged the students to talk to their loved ones about their military experiences and to thank them for their sacrifice.
When you talk to a veteran or meet a veteran, could be an uncle, aunt, relative, maybe someone you don't know, say thank you for your service to our country.
My grandpa, he lives in Marinette, and I might call him and talk to him.
Lowell also brought photos and memorabilia from his days in the service to share with the students. They enjoyed looking at the photos and discussing with one another what military life and combat must have been like.
Seeing the pictures, those were really cool.
Lowell also brought a display of the medals he received during his years of service. He shared stories and background on the tours of duty and events that earned him those medals.
I was wounded in Vietnam by a couple of mortar rounds, bombs that went off around me. One hit my chest and knocked me down, and then another one went off, and I have metal in my back. Fortunately, I was wearing my flak jacket, otherwise I wouldn't be here today. And then, so that was in the Battle of Hue in 1968, during the Tet Offensive of 1968.
The students also shared about the medals their relatives had received.
My grandpa, Lee Regenauer, was private first class in Germany in World War II. He was a machine gunner and he received the Medal of Honor.
Lowell believes connecting students to the veterans in their own lives is an important component to any Veterans Day event and gives the day a more personal meaning. Longfellow students and staff were moved by the presentation and have words of thanks for the veterans.
Thank you for serving our country and all you've done for our country.
Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your service. Thank you for giving us the freedom that we have today, that many of us, including myself, do not totally appreciate and understand because we have it, and we've had it since we've all been here. But thank you very, very much for all that you've done to protect us, to keep us safe, to keep this country moving ahead.